Yesterday I cleared 50 G's, did it half asleep in some wrinkled tees. Then I checked my text, 5 friends in debt, talking like I owe them for the life I met. I used to chase hope, now I chase the pump. They post fake wins, I just post the jump. Told my mom I'm barely hanging on, but I bought a new whip just to prove them wrong. You can't afford to live like this. Bounce your rent for a meme. You can't pretend your trade's all hit, but you do, oh you do, don't you? I made more last month than your whole damn crew. Still act broke so they never asked to. Post one loss, they swarm like flies. But where were you when I 5X twice? They play scared, I play God. Still swinging while the game's flatlining. Nah, they Google dreams, I wire them in cash. Laughing while their 5-year plans collapse. You can't afford to live like this. Sell the house, go. You can't be dumb enough to dream so big, but I did and I will again. You can't afford to live like this. Sell the house, go. You can't be dumb enough to dream so big, but I did and I will again. You can't afford to live like this. Yeah, we can. Yeah, you can't be dumb enough to dream so big. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show. It is hump day. It is a beautiful Wednesday, October the 8th, and we're all here to find out, is the market going to bounce? I get it. I was there. I saw it. I know that even though we had 7 records in a row, just market green, 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 literally at record high territory, one red day sends everyone in a tizzy. One day of not hitting a new record high, and everyone is now deeply questioning, is the market going to crash? Is stagflation here? Is a recession here? Is it time to sell everything? And I have a feeling if we just wait a little bit, probably just let things calm down, and then we literally just start going again, everyone's going to forget this. But it really just shows you how quick the memory is of Wall Street. It doesn't matter that record. If you paid attention to any form of media, social media, mainstream media, if you went on Twitter yesterday, everyone's freaking out because we took a miniature dip, even though we also were at a record. Like in the same day, we hit a new record high. Because we didn't hold it, everyone's starting to question, should we get out? The answer is evidently no. When in doubt, zoom out, look at the daily chart, look at the weekly chart, look at the monthly chart, and you're going to realize that a little intraday hiccup, just because we got some bad inflation numbers and some bad job numbers, it's no reason to freak out. It's one day's worth of action. I'm not going to buy it. All this doomsday talk. I think if price momentum, structure, and options flow all completely inverted, if we were starting to make lower highs and lower lows, if we started to trade below all the major moving averages, if we started to see everyone YOLOing into puts and selling calls and a bunch of negative gamma beneath, yeah, then maybe it's worthwhile in the short term for us to pay attention to some hedge plays, to some bearish plays. But right now, the truth is that it was a one-day hiccup. Price structure, momentum, and options are all still very strong. Seasonality is strong. And at a certain point, I don't think it's that crazy to expect, especially the large money managers, to be locking in some of these gains because we just keep grinding higher and higher and higher. As much as new highs beget new highs, at a certain point, yeah, you should expect a little bit of mean reversion. How often can you flip a coin and expect it just to come up heads and heads and heads? So these are my own opinions. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not clairvoyant. I can't tell you where things are going no less in the next minute, the next day, the next week. But overall, if you saw the update video yesterday, if you were in the Discord yesterday, you actually know that I took the opportunity, the dip in the market, to add to my bullish positions because I figured, hey, we're pretty close to support, SPX 6,700. So I figured if I was wrong, it was just adding on a paper cut because if it broke, I just didn't have to take that much of a hit. However, if it really was a base and we explode off of it, well, I was able to improve my averages. So I like the risk reward. I have to admit, early this morning, I'm not feeling the best. The SPY and the Qs are slightly above where we closed yesterday. Obviously, I would love a return to the all-time high today, but hey, wish in one hand and shit in the other and see how it plays out. So we're going to find out. Actually, out of my own curiosity, before I give you guys the breakdown of everything that's going on, and we're going to be covering the overall market, the stats, facts, and figures. We're going to get into some individual news related to NVIDIA and OpenAI and XAI and all these different AI plays, and we have some political stuff to get into. Before I get into it, right now, before the market opens, based on your knowledge of what happened yesterday and your general comfort level, do you think that this dip is to be bought? Or do you think that, nope, we've actually gone a little bit too close to the sun and it's time for maybe a 2, 3, 5% pullback base and then we bounce off of that? I see, yeah, ASTS, we're going to get into that. I saw that people in the Discord were pointing out that the video was going, or the stock was going up quite a bit. But in general, I'm saying this little hiccup we had yesterday, do you think that's a BTFD type of an opportunity, buy the F and dip? Or do you think it's the opposite of wave? Do you think it's a sell the effing rip if we go up at all? I'm kind of curious if you guys are as degenerate as I am just buying this, or if you're like, no, I need to wait. I need to wait for this one. Not in tech AI plays. Well, that's a bummer because those are the ones that are going up right now. That's what's leading the market. That's the racer that's running the fastest right now. I bought a very heavy yesterday. Save me, daddy. Well, hey, I'm there with you. I think we both need to get saved on this one. We're going to see how it finds out. We're going to see how this all plays out. FOMC talks today will prob drop more. There are no FOMC talks today. There's the FOMC meeting minutes, but that's not talks. Please don't get confused by that. I know the naming's a little bit confusing. We have FOMC meetings and we have FOMC meeting minutes. So the FOMC meeting is where the voting Fed members come together and they decide what to do with the Fed fund rate. The FOMC meeting minutes is the detailed notes of the last FOMC meeting. So there's no new FOMC meeting today. We just get more of a detailed breakdown of the discussion at the last FOMC meeting. And I get that there's confusion there because it's so close. FOMC meeting minutes. But the minutes, which is what we're getting this afternoon, is basically a retrospective of the last FOMC meeting. I'm in SPX calls on the dip yesterday. Well, we're going to see. Isn't Powell speaking as well? Tomorrow, he's speaking tomorrow morning. But that has nothing to do with the FOMC meeting or the FOMC meeting minutes. This is a different speech. And that's, once again, I think that's at 8:30 tomorrow morning. So Powell is speaking on an unrelated matter. Of course, he's going to be asked the same questions he's always asked about monetary policy and inflation and labor market and the strength of the economy. But yeah, he will be speaking at 8:30, so an hour before the market opens tomorrow. Okay, cool. I was just kind of curious where you guys are at. We have some people buying the dip. We have some people who are expressing a bit more patience and waiting for the dust to settle. We're going to find out what was the right play and the wrong play. We're going to get a little bit more information starting in about 18 minutes. And on that note, I should get you guys prepped up. Stock futures rise slightly after the S&P 500 snaps a 7-day win streak. You know, whenever anything snaps a 7-day win streak, we should just put her down, take her out back, bury her in the back 40 there. 7-day win streak. I mean, what is that, a win streak for ants? Come on, folks. Anyway, I get it. Yesterday was a little bit red, but let me remind you, we also hit an all-time high. Price structure is still bullish. We are making higher highs and higher lows. Prices above all the major EMAs. It's above this trend line. And if you look at the current option setup, you can see that we're still in positive gamma. So across the board, things have bullish momentum and we have stability. So I get it. We ended up dropping 0.38% yesterday, and that one got everyone in a tizzy, but I honestly think this is just an opportunity to kind of wait, express a bit of patience. If you see a dip, if you see a formation being created at a higher low, you bounce off of that and you just keep going. So, of course, a lot of this has to relate to a generic sense of uncertainty. A new Wall Street trade is powering gold and hitting currencies. Investors are pouring money into the dollar, alternatives like Bitcoin and precious metals. This has been the hot talk of the town recently. Gold. Ripping like no other. In fact, already this morning, it's hitting new all-time high. I know I've been saying this a lot, but once again, congrats to all the gold bugs in the audience because gold is ripping, silver is ripping, Bitcoin is ripping. Really, honestly, even equities are ripping. I know it doesn't feel like it because of yesterday, but we also hit a new all-time high yesterday. Everything is ripping but the dollar, and gold is really leading the charge higher. I mean, look at this year-to-date gain. It is up 53%. Gold tops 4,000 for the first time, fueled by the U.S. shutdown. So yes, as of now, Kohrs is basically saying just under 22 days for the government shutdown, bringing us into the final part of October. According to Polymarket, there's a 76% chance that the shutdown goes beyond October 15th. So I wouldn't say we're necessarily in this for the long haul, but we're going to be in it for most of the month of October, at least according to the betting markets.
What a momentum trade for the yellow metal. Gold has now risen, Tom, over 20% since the dovish shift from the Fed back in Jackson Hole back in August. In just 6 weeks, added 20%, crossing 4,000 for the first time ever. It crossed 1,000 during the monumental Fed easing during the GFC. It crossed 2,000 during the COVID pandemic when the government started sending out stimulus checks. It crossed 3,000 on Trump tariffs and the worries back in April, now notching 4,000 for the first time ever on perhaps, as Ray Dalio mentioned, a diversification trade away from the U.S. dollar. But Tom, if you look back on the winning trades this century, gold really takes the crown. You might as well have just turned off your Bloomberg terminal, shoved it all into gold and opened it back up today. But gold has really outperformed since this century. And the interesting thing about the session yesterday is that gold is rising, even if the equity market is up or down, even if Bitcoin is up or down. Very interesting to see that both Bitcoin and the S&P 500 were in the red yesterday, but it didn't stop gold from notching another 1% gain. We've actually now snapped that winning streak for the S&P 500. It was on a 7-day winning streak that ended yesterday on the worries, as you mentioned, around the tech trade. But look, it has added 16 trillion since the lows in April. Ray Dalio, as we heard from there, did call the market frothy. But Tom, it's really hard to turn these momentum trades around in a substantial way with a lack of government data in order to change the needle on the narrative.
Okay, I think there's a disclosure, an important disclosure, Val. There's no way you would turn off your Bloomberg terminal even for a day. I think that's important.
All right, a little bit of banter there, but you get the point. Actually, second question of the day. How many of you are in gold right now in one way or another? Either you have physical gold, you are long, I guess, gold futures, maybe you have GLD, which is the major ETF. How many of you are playing precious metals? Because if I'm seeing a lot of you, maybe we'll start including it a bit more. I mean, obviously, it's garnering a lot of attention. We're up in excess of 50%. A lot of people saying, I don't want to be in the US dollar, which I do think is smart. I don't think there's really any reason to keep any clear amount of your own wealth in anything that is a dollar. I think actually everything else is better. Physical silver, that's a good option. Whether it's silver ETFs, you have crypto. I mean, it seems like we could obviously get into the nuances of things that are better, but I think we could all admit everything is better than the dollar right now. I think we could all admit everything is better than the dollar. Gold rally points to eroding faith in central banks worldwide. No shit, Sherlock. Of course. So right now we're just seeing the dollar, which the entire world is based in. That's the major denomination, just this is what happens when you have printed all this money, you have inflation, you're forced to stop your fight on inflation to help the labor market. And that's really, I mean, I get that everyone's talking about this government shutdown, but if you truly want to know why the market sold off yesterday, it's because we're getting some reports related to jobs, not the official job numbers, but we're getting some job related details from major banks like the Bank of America, Wells, Citi, all that good stuff. And from them, which is like kind of related data, highly correlated data, they are still suggesting that, job market not so good. So we're in this situation where, though it's not the official job numbers, the unofficial job numbers are not good, as in a softening, weakening job market, labor market. We also know, and this is from the New York Fed survey yesterday, that the inflation anticipation is going up. So when you have higher inflation and worse off jobs, this is why yesterday people started to say the S word. They started to say stagflation. And as soon as that all got reported roughly midday, you could see when the market started to hit, that's when everyone started to say, did you see the New York Fed? Did you see the private sector job numbers? That's not good, because it all adds up to stagflation. And granted, it was in the very short term, and maybe it becomes much more prolific in a negative sense, but that's what happened yesterday. The government shutdown, I know it's it's seemingly a low-hanging fruit of the market's going to get hit because the government shut down. But historically, that's not how the market reacts. If you look at government shutdowns for the period of the shutdown, for 100 days after, and for a year after, I'm not saying that this happens all the time, but the average and the median result for all three of those, during the shutdown, 100 days after, and a year after, the average and median result for all of those is bullish. So I get that it's one of these things that it sounds bad. Government shutdown, shut it off, crash, blah, blah, blah. In reality, that's just not how it's played out in the past. So maybe, but I'm hard-pressed to believe that just yesterday, days into the shutdown, the stock market's like, maybe we should sell off now. I actually think a much more reasonable argument of what we experienced yesterday was the 1-2 combo punch. We got some from private companies, some banks, unofficial job numbers, not so good. We got the New York Fed survey, inflation anticipated to be higher. You put those two things together, stagflation, really bringing into question what is the Fed going to be doing not only at the remainder of this month, but also for the remainder of the year. You put that all together, stock market in the short term, not so happy, but with the spike of uncertainty, we're clearly seeing an outflow from these equities in the short term to obviously safe haven assets such as gold, silver, whether physical. You're also seeing it in the ETFs. You're seeing it in cryptocurrencies. You're just seeing people store their money elsewhere. So I would argue that's really what we saw. But of course, maybe there are some people with ants in their pants. Of course, that does happen with the government being shut down. Are we getting the initial jobless claims tomorrow? I don't know. Is the government going to turn back on? Are we getting non-farm payrolls? Are we getting the unemployment rate? It's scheduled. It was also scheduled last week, and we didn't get it. So we're going to be finding out. What we are getting today, Wednesday, October the 8th, 10-year note auction at 1 p.m. and then the FOMC meeting minutes at 3 p.m. If you're just joining in right now, I already said this, but just to remind everyone, FOMC meeting minutes is different than an FOMC meeting. An FOMC meeting is where the voting Fed members decide to what they want to do with the Fed interest rates, the Federal Open Market Committee meeting. The FOMC meeting minutes is the detailed notes of the last FOMC meeting. So today at 3 p.m., we're going to be getting the detailed notes of the last FOMC meeting. Tomorrow morning, Thursday, October the 9th, we're going to be hearing from the chairman of the Fed, Powell. He'll be speaking an hour before the market opens. There's also a 30-year bond auction. And then on Friday, maybe we're getting info. Maybe we're not. So that's pretty much the state of what the hell's going on in the world. With respect to individual equities, I am loving this bachelor level drama between OpenAI, NVIDIA, AMD, XAI. Every single day, there's more and more drama. They should make a reality show about it. So the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen, explains why NVIDIA's latest partnership with OpenAI is different. This is a partnership that, for the first time, OpenAI is going to buy directly from us. I find this to be hilarious. Just to kind of give everyone a recap, just in case you missed the last episode of Billionaire Drama, we know that NVIDIA gave OpenAI a bunch of money. And the money was given to them contractually by saying, okay, but you have to use this money to now buy chips from us, which I know it's circular. You could argue it's a form of a financial circle jerk, and you're not wrong. But in the meantime, now that OpenAI, obviously running ChatGPT and a big connection to Microsoft, Microsoft is a big equity investor. While they had more cash, they were able to go get more loans from big banks. And in the meantime, set up a deal to buy potentially up to 10% of AMD, who is the direct competitor to NVIDIA. And also, while that was all happening, we got SEC disclosures from Microsoft stating that OpenAI was one of their biggest competitors, even though they're an equity investor in it. And then in the meantime, we're having Intel, which was basically just dying away on the vine, all of a sudden now, because they were basically forced by the government to give 10% of their own company to the US government. All of a sudden, now they're getting all these major deals. The thing is wild. This is absolutely, absolutely wild. So you have Intel coming back from the dead, being supported by the government, and it was no choice of their own. They were forced into it. AMD, who was always kind of like the second fiddle, if you will, the second violin, they're now with OpenAI, who OpenAI thought they were buddies with NVIDIA, but NVIDIA is saying that our partnership with them is different and everything's great. I really, really want to know, do these people hate each other? Like when this happens, are they just like steaming, or do they not kill because they're all billionaires anyway? Like, I just wonder if they're operating on such a different plane that we don't understand it. Like, because at first your knee jerk is like, wow, that sucks. They're probably offended and their ego's hurt. But then do they just like look at their bank account and they're like, oh, never mind, I'm a billionaire, I don't like really give a shit? I really want to know. I wish we could have any of these CEOs. Like, I just wish we had like almost knowledge of their thought process and be like, yeah, fuck it, we don't care. Or does it like actually piss them off? Maybe they're so far beyond money that all they have now is ego and power, and maybe these things actually bother them even more than we could possibly imagine. But I haven't listed yet that, don't forget, there's other players in the game. XAI to raise $20 billion after NVIDIA and others boost around. So we're in this crazy situation where it's now developed that OpenAI and NVIDIA were buddies. NVIDIA gives OpenAI money. OpenAI goes and buys a part of their competitor, AMD. As that happens, NVIDIA responds and says, we have a great partnership with OpenAI. We're not fighting with them. And then as they're saying that, they go and invest in XAI, which is the direct competitor to OpenAI. Like, this thing is such a fucking shit show. We honestly need a giant diagram that just shows the incestual financial relationship from all of these companies. And the craziest thing is, as like they are continually either just like investing directly in themselves or fucking over someone else, the entire time this is announced, just all these stocks just keep going higher and higher and higher. The fact that these companies are giving money to another company and then that company is forced to reinvest it into themselves, and then that sends both stocks higher, like, what the fuck? Like, this is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely nuts. Probably not going to end well, but hey, we might as well enjoy the show while it is here.
So another day, another deal that this time NVIDIA seems to be inking with XAI. What do we know? According to our own reporting, this obviously is the Bloomberg scoop.
Yeah, it's a Bloomberg scoop, and it's been very well read today as well. So it tells you there's a lot of interest. Again, to your point, we've just seen deal after deal after deal being struck in the AI infrastructure space in particular.
One of the mics
what
is
we've
out.
got from sources here
I
is
can
that
only hear it in my
XAI,
left
we
mic,
knew they were looking
or
to
left
do
headphone,
some
excuse me.
fundraising. But what we reported at the end of September was that they were looking at $10 billion at a $200 billion valuation. Now we've actually heard that they've upped the stakes to raise $20 billion instead. So you're talking about a doubling in the space of just a couple of weeks. And as you said, NVIDIA, we're hearing, could be one of the ones that's getting involved here. Sources are telling us that they're looking to take an equity investment or make an equity investment worth as much as $2 billion. So, yes, it is a major capital raise for the company, and also raising that concern yet again, and it is the subject of our big take today, but essentially talking about how you're seeing sort of a circularity in a lot of these deals, because when NVIDIA makes these investments, these companies are in turn buying NVIDIA chips. So it's that question is this sort of leading into this AI bubble, or is the hype actually real?
I thought the structure of that deal was quite fascinating.
All right, we don't have to talk about the structure of the deal, but I like how, probably for, I don't know, professional reasons, they're allowed to say circle, but they can't call it a full-on circle jerk. So that's apparently where we are at. If you haven't already, signed up for the newsletter. It's 100% free. Every single Sunday, you're going to get a breakdown of what's going on in the market, a cheat sheet of all the major macroeconomic events, and then most useful is the seasonality of each day. And I do want to let you know that over the past 27 years worth of data, and really over the past 20 years worth of data, this day has proven to be bullish. The bulls only have won it 46% of the time. The earlier data set was a bit weak, but because of recent success, it is obviously favoring the bulls. Is this the end all be all? Nope, but it is useful to give you an idea of the headwinds and the tailwinds. And then I update you on Piper and I don't know, stupid little jokes at the end there. So anyway, sign up, macros.locals.com. It is 100% free. If you haven't already, don't forget you can get an Apex account 80% off. Right now, the specialty deal is better than 80% off. It is very, very cheap to upgrade from eval to performance, only $85 for a lifetime. Don't forget to use that code Goonie, and also spot gamma. Obviously, every day when we're checking the options flow and negative gamma and positive gamma, I'm using spot gamma. The name of the tool is spot gamma. I have used all major option analytics tool available to retail traders. I'm telling you, I've used every single one, and spot gamma is second to none. The next closest one is so comically horrible on a relative comparison. I'm telling you, do not waste a single dollar on any of the option analytics competitors. Folks, I've paid for all of those. I actually still have most of mine available to see if they're improving at all. I am telling you, do not waste a single dollar on any other option analytics tool beyond Spot Gamma. And when it comes to Spot Gamma, I couldn't imagine trading without it. There's no other platform that gives you this type of detailed information. So check it out. You can get a fat 80% discount pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. And before the market opens, let me switch this up. I am running out of time. I'm going as fast as I can. I have 30 seconds, which means you guys just need to quickly either write these levels down or screenshot them or use them or don't use them. But what you need to know is the green, the red, and the white are yesterday's trading sessions high, low, and close. The white box is the transition zone, bullish above it, bearish below it. And the yellow lines are areas where we're looking for market reaction because there is a big open interest there. And it looks like the major upside target of the day is 6,740. We're basically going to be waiting to see, does the call credit spread get blown out? Captain Condor is back. The call credit spread, the upper end is 6,740. The lower end is 6,680. Captain Condor is back. Iron Condor in play. You're looking for the breakout of 6,740 or the breakdown is 6,680 for that player to basically capitulate. Right here, 6,740 or 6,680. Watch those two zones. And on that note, dingity ding ding ding, the world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all, play responsibly, and if not, have fun. It's just money. You can't take it with you when you go. All right, I'm still in SOFI, feeling good about that. It looks like we're up 1%, and it looks like my internet is already slow. And CoreWeave is up 2%. I would love... Is this just completely frozen? Mom? Why is my internet not... Hang on. How many programs can I close out of? I don't know what's going on right now. Can you guys hear me? Can I hear you? All right. Let's exit Bookmap for now. I'm closing all my programs just to free up a little bit of CPU. Let's get out of this. Okay. I'm closing as many things down as I can. But am I dropping any frames? I'm not dropping any frames. That's weird. So what would the issue be? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you feel me? That's the real question. Hear, feel, see. Hear, see, feel. In that order. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you feel me? I'm looking for 3 separate answers. It might just be on my end, which would make this whole chit chat a little bit more embarrassing. Hear me, see me, feel me. Yeah, yes or no's across the board. All right, we did get that break, but now there's no other real major level to watch. Yes. All right, we are already pushing these pre-market highs. So if you attempted to play that, well, we already are breaking out of the pre-market high. So I guess that's not really in play today because we smashed that, which means the next level of real interest is kind of where this broke down yesterday, 25,191. So we'll just call it 25,200. But that's really where we started puking yesterday, this vomit bar here midday. So you might want to watch 25,200 if you're trading. Dude, why are so many alerts going off? What is happening in the world? Netflix alert just went off, a bullish one. Bullish Netflix alert, a little bit of a fake out breakdown there, already popping right back. So we'll set up a reach target at 1,225 and a reversion target. So Netflix, in terms of equities, everything, Rigetti is already getting RGTI breaking out. Just keeps going. That's another one that I completely missed out on. Rigetti, we're already getting a continuation breakout. Holy shit. That thing is something else. This is a gamma squeeze. What you are watching in Rigetti, but also the entire quantum computing sphere right now, this isn't some sort of amazing fundamental update where everyone's like, I got to be in this now. What you're seeing is what's referred to as a gamma squeeze, a negative gamma squeeze. There's negative gamma above. Everyone keeps YOLOing into calls. As price goes up, market makers have to buy more of the underlying to hedge out their books, which pushes it higher, which prompts more FOMO, which prompts more people to buy calls, which makes the gamma reading more negative. And as you can see, like before, as we were talking about with AI, it just becomes like a circle jerk of a situation. So is this some sort of, look at even here, QBTS just got its breakout. Keeps going. What you are witnessing in real time in the quantum computing sphere is a gamma squeeze. It is not a short squeeze. It is a gamma squeeze. Of course, some of the shorts betting against it are getting squeezed out, but it's much more related to the interesting math related to the world of a market maker and them balancing out their books. I did get a breakout alert on HUT. This is more of a, that's not specifically actually at all a quantum computing play. This is more of data centers and related to, well, they spun off with ABTC and they had data centers. It's more of a crypto play, which, speaking of that, how's Bitcoin looking now? 122.6. So taking a breather off the all-time high, but holding on pretty strong. We have Tesla already getting hit again. Fuck, dude. Tesla is not looking good on the daily at the moment. I do not like that setup. How much more pain do I want to take on Tesla? CoreWeave is up 3%. Daily, not that interesting. Oracle got hit yesterday, already trying to recover. Microsoft hit yesterday, still an inside day today. Would love for that to push 530. Apple tried to get going, got a little bit smacked. You might want to be watching. This would be a break for a new all-time high. 260.10 is the all-time high. NVDA waking back up. Look for it to push 189. Hood maybe recovering here. This is the all-time high on Monday. Got a bit hit between Monday and yesterday, but it already looks like we're trying to put in a higher low. Palantir, same thing, got hit, trying to recover. AMD pumped up, inside day. We have another inside day. You just have to wait. SOFI, you guys know I got into this on Monday. I'm looking for this to recover all the way back up to 30 plus. HUT is going. Oklo made a new all-time high, taking a bit of a breather. I'm waiting for that follow-through breakout. Avago putting in a higher low. I kind of like this. Actually, in terms of daily charts, this might be one of the best setups we've seen thus far today. We put in a higher low, a potential reversal. You're looking for the breakout of 348 and then a follow-through to 365. Meta is looking weak. Netflix trying to recover. There's a downside gap fill, but it's on top of all of those averages. Open is not moving. We talked about Rigetti. It's pushing. Qubits, it's pushing. IONQ, almost pushing. MSTR got destroyed yesterday. Texas Roadhouse is break even. ETH is trading at 4.4. All right, so nothing too crazy at the exact moment. I am not liking how Tesla's looking. Jesus. I know a lot of you were talking about ASTS. I have no position on this, and I also wouldn't be chasing it right now. AST Space Mobile, some form of an announcement. But the question, if you're wondering, should you get in now? No, you're way too far away your risk. Your closest risk is maybe 67. A better risk is 47. If your risk is 47, why are you getting in at 86? But if you already have a position, this is looking phenomenally bullish. Be mindful of the potential downside gap fill. But if you're in it ride it. You caught the trend, keep riding it. But just because something's bullish doesn't mean you should create a new bullish position. And I definitely wouldn't bet against it because you're betting against the overall trend. So ASTS gapping up to a new all-time high. If you had it already, the last great entry was on October 1st. Ride it. Ride it, ride it, ride it. If you are lucky enough to have the position, ride the trend as long as the trend is intact. But that does not mean make a position now. You're simply overpaying for it and your risk is too far away. Those are, SOFI's getting hit. Tesla's getting hit. Jesus. NVIDIA, Apple. What has a nice Microsoft is decent. Oracle was decent. Tesla getting CoreWeave intraday is looking interesting. Wow, Tesla's really getting manhandled this morning. It's really getting stocks rise at open, led by NVIDIA. NVIDIA is looking somewhat decent. The world's biggest company. We are seeing once again a clear mismatch between the overall market in the top left of your screen, the S&P 500, and then the tech sector. You can see the SPY is pushing for the intraday low as the Qs are pushing for an intraday high. Wow. Can we talk about path? Is it interesting? Doesn't seem interesting at all to me. It looks like a shitty range-bound stock. Literally, volume is not high. Market cap is decently high, 7.9 billion. It's just there's not much interest in it. The price action is going nowhere, and the trade volume, there's just not much large interest. It's just not being traded. I guess if it breaks out, maybe that could prompt some interest. But given the amount of opportunity right now in the market, I literally wouldn't think a second about this one. Rocket Labs, you guys have been talking about this one more and more. It's the same thing as I said yesterday. If you're in it, ride the trend. This is not a time to create a new bullish position, and it's not a time to bet against it. You can't get in right now because your risk is too far away. If you're already in it, which the entry was on Thursday the 2nd, right here, this recovery, this higher low, this bounce right here, your risk was low. At this point, you're just riding it. But I think a lot of people misconstrue this concept of, if it is bullish, I should be getting more. No, that's not necessarily true because you have to consider your risk. If you're in it, great, ride it. I definitely wouldn't bet against it, and I definitely wouldn't create a new position. And just like ASTS, I would be, if I were long, I'd be mindful of the downside gap fill. BURU, what is this one? Oh, this is fucking horrible. Ew. You guys are putting your money in this dog shit? That's just fucking stupid. Look how fucking horrible this stock is. Reverse stock splits. It's a failed SPAC. No, this is dog shit. Ew. IREN. Data processing. What does IREN do? Announce a private offering. Convertible bonds. Hang on. NVIDIA is breaking out. That's why the Qs are looking so good right now. SPY, unfortunately, struggling a little bit. We are right at the top of this transition zone. I want to see 25 hold, and then that sets up a test of 40. If 25 doesn't hold, that's setting up a test of yesterday's closing value, which is also a major open interest level at 6715. I currently have no day trade positions on. Actually, I could even show you that with camera. Let me switch this up. You can see right here, no positions. I was good. We'll see how long this either does or doesn't last. But no live positions at the moment. So we'll see. I kind of wish I took the NASDAQ long at open because that would have worked out beautifully. But in reality, I'll share this with you. I've recently done quite a bit of analysis on each trading day of the week. And based on the last calendar year, being short on Wednesdays at market open, especially for the first hour, has not been a good idea. Even being long is questionable in about the first 30-ish minutes. What's kind of interesting about Wednesdays in a general sense, the opening session, and we'll just define that as the first 30 minutes, commonly pretty choppy. Now, obviously, you could be like, but Matt, the Qs already went up today. Yeah, that's one example, and I'm not saying that that completely negates the average and the median results, but you should know that in a general sense, the opening portion of the individual trading day on Wednesdays is commonly choppy. But what's really interesting about it is by the time you get past that first half hour, that first hour, that's actually where you start to see quite a bit of quote unquote trendiness. So just something to consider for Wednesdays. The first half hour, the first hour, commonly pretty choppy. So if you want to use that information, have at it. If you don't want to use that information, don't use it. But from a purely statistical, quantitative, like breaking down all the empirical data, the opening session specifically on Wednesdays, it shows a lot of choppiness, a lot of fake outs. So just so you know, I mean, I've always been a big fan of not really doing much right at the market open. And the data specific to Wednesday really reinforces that fact that I shouldn't be doing anything on Wednesdays, at least right at market open. Microsoft is looking good. The world's second biggest company and the world's first biggest company, NVDA, both are looking good, helping the Qs. Unfortunately, other aspects of the market must be selling off because you have the S&P 500 getting hit. Energy is selling off for sure. Financials are selling off for sure. Utilities selling off, industrials selling off, healthcare was selling off, getting a little bit of a bounce. Real estate did sell off, now going nowhere. Consumer discretionary selling off, consumer staples selling off. Literally every single sector, industrials, everything is selling off except for tech. The one sector right now looking good is tech, XLK, but pretty much everything else is just getting clocked right now. Getting clocked. And why is tech looking good? Well, you have Microsoft looking pretty good. You have NVIDIA looking pretty good. Where's Apple? Apple's even looking good. So when the top three biggest stocks, which all happen to be tech, are all looking pretty decent, no surprise that tech, XLK, and then really the NASDAQ is looking good because the one sector that's really going down is financials, XLF. And remember, XLF is not included in the NASDAQ, and energy is getting hit as well. So pretty much every sector is getting hit at this moment in time. And granted, we're only 14 minutes into the day, but every sector is getting hit but tech. Tech is the strong thing, which actually tells me, yeah, I was going to say small cap has to be getting hit, and it does. Yeah. So look how just polar opposites. IWM, Russell 2000 opened up, puked. NASDAQ opened up, and it has just popped pretty much ever since. Selling covered calls on RKLB. Just be careful on that because it's a rocket ship. You don't want to get clipped on that. Well, what I'm looking for personally is, well, SPX, you do have the 50 EMA support here at 20. We know that the top of the transition zone is 25, and we know that there's a lot of support at 715, 714 in here. So I'm looking for a point. I would love a bounce somewhere in this region, but really what I want to see is a push above and a hold above 725, and then I want to see the first test here at 40. Avago. I think we are getting a breakout alert on Avago. Yes, we are. Okay, so semiconductors are catching a bit. Do I want to play Avago? Hang on. Let's do a breakdown. We could get a little bit into the brain of Matt Kohrs and how I do an analysis on stuff. So Avago, the first thing that spikes my interest is higher low, technical breakout. Interesting. Now let's see. Okay, let's check the intraday flow. Okay, it's looking pretty decent. It dipped at 937. Ever since then, spiking, which is looking polar opposite to the overall market here. So we're seeing relative strength in Broadcom, and the Mag 7 is showing strength. Okay, so we're checking some boxes. The other thing I'm going to dive into is where are the big bets? So Avago currently trading at 344. Okay, so there's support. The most support is at 335. There is some support at 340, and there's a little bit of a wall here at 345. You have an opportunity up to 360, and if it breaks that out, you're talking about 375. So the risk reward isn't my favorite, but it's also not my least favorite. It is definitely not my least favorite. So this is becoming an interesting contender, and I almost wonder if I should swap out my Tesla for Avago here. Oh, we're pulling this off. What time? Okay, it is the 8th, October 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 8th. Not my favorite play, but not my least favorite play by any means. Avago, 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 Avago. Oh, Vago. Avago, Avago. Huh. All right, I'm going to put in an order and see if I could scoop up something on the cheap on that one, because semiconductors, Rigetti is getting another breakout already. Didn't we just look at the breakout on Rigetti? Oh, it is quickly getting reverted. The old razzle dazzle the other way. The old razzle dazzle the other way. Open, not really doing much. Qubits did pop, got smashed. IONQ did pop, get smashed already. I want to be clear, I have no position on any of those plays. I just kind of, in all reality, missed the entry. But hey, maybe one of these days, like SOFI, it'll finally give me an opportunity. What's exciting right now is the semiconductor sphere. SMH is the ETF, the exchange traded fund, a basket of stocks, and this particular basket tracks semiconductors. Think NVIDIA, Broadcom, Micron, Intel, Qualcomm, basically all of them. SMH is that ETF. What's keeping the market alive right now is semiconductors, which is basically the AI boom. If you want to play that in a leverage way, you could look at Soxel. Soxel is the same thing, except it's a 3x exposure. Super degenerate. And I guess if you do it, just, I don't know, be a little careful. But if you want absurd exposure to the semiconductor sphere, once again, your combination of NVIDIA, Broadcom, Micron, Intel, Qualcomm, Vago, like all of them, Soxel is a 3x leverage ETF to that. So just, hey, use that if you want to. Okay, we're almost back to this intraday high here. We are almost back to it. Why is this not working? I like that we're holding above 25. I do like this. This is the top of the transition zone. I'm hoping we do not get smacked here. How are we looking? We don't need this. We do need this. Okay, so starting at 9:44, 15 minutes into the day, we finally started to see a spike. And what is this? The spike is the double hit of people are buying 0 DTE calls and they are selling 0 DTE puts. Both have the impact of sending the delta higher. So I like that. We're seeing a bit of reversal, not just in price, but also in options flow. And the Mag 7 actually ever since 9:37. So it started its pivot 5 minutes earlier. The Mag 7's been trending up. All right, so we're seeing a little bit of life. The question is, will this hold, or is it just going to get smacked right there? I wouldn't mind a little bit of a cup handle. I just want to see 25 hold. I want to see the market here. I'll show you these gamma levels. I want to see 25 hold. Basically the end of this little positive gamma zone and the start of this negative gamma. But I do want to remind you that we have the call credit spread, the top side of Captain Condor today at 6740, which I do have marked out right here, 6740. All right, so unfortunately, this did not make a fresh high. We do have some profit taking and some pretty aggressive profit taking. Puts were bought, calls were sold, but let's see, maybe we're setting up for an inverse shoulder, head, shoulder. I mean, obviously, there's still an opportunity for this to be a higher low relative to the low at 944. So I know we didn't make a fresh high, but however, if we pump above, pull back, and then push even higher, this is kind of the classic A, B, C, D pop, which could then be setting up the top side of the Captain Condor test. So let's see if we can really create any foundation right here. And most importantly, you don't want to see it come below this 944 low because clearly once again, this is a question I've been getting a lot lately, is what are these arrows to show you the recent highs and the recent lows? It's called fractals, Williams fractals, right here. It's on the screen. It's a free indicator on TradingView if you want to add it to your chart. I make no money off of it. It's free. I'm not associated with them. I just think it's a useful tool to quickly see, oh, okay, lower highs, lower lows. Oh, okay, that's a higher high, but where's the next low? Is this another low right here? Are we about to go from bearish trend to bullish trend? Maybe. So actually, if we push this high right here and then push this high, this will definitely be a higher low. So we might be getting that old Kansas City shuffle from bearish to bullish, but you need buyers to step in. Mag 7 is still climbing, so that's giving me bullish hope. S&P 500, it did pop, but it seems pretty indecisive at the moment. So tech sector is looking good because of semiconductors. So NVIDIA is having a good day. Broadcom's having a good day. SOFI was having a good day, got hit. AMD's having a good day. Look at that thing. AMD's just semiconductors are rocking right now. Tesla did get hit, recovering a little bit. Palantir is slowly getting hit. Apple's having a good day. Microsoft's having an all right day. Oracle's trying to recover a little bit. CoreWeave is going. CoreWeave is up 6%, 5.8%. Wow. All right. Well, I think the bulls have a fighting opportunity. I think the larger picture is best shown here. Let's look at the 30-minute. You can kind of see this picture where we kind of grind up, take a hit, 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 grind up, nothing, grind up again, take a hit. I wonder, is this just like what we just saw yesterday? Is it no different than Friday? Is it no different than October 1st? Is it no different than the 25th? Is it no different than the 17th? Like, is it just always the same thing? We grind quite a bit, we take a hit. We grind, we take a hit. We grind, we take a hit. We grind, we take a hit. I bought on this just thinking, okay, maybe history is going to simply repeat. And what I'm most fascinated about today is this sell-off was pretty much...
Order submitted.
Oh,
Order.
fuck. Hello?
Order submitted.
Bot's going. Come on, bot. Don't do this to me, brother. Come on. I don't like seeing that red. I don't like seeing that red. I don't like seeing that red. All right, Icarus. I turned you back on, and I told myself when I was crying in the shower this morning that I would not deviate from the plan. I told myself, whatever Icarus says goes. Oh, no. That's not right. Icarus wasn't supposed to trade yet. Fuck. Unless I'm losing my mind. Folks, it's not 10 a.m. That's what I'm saying. I'm confused because it's 9:55. This was supposed to literally turn on at 10 a.m. All right. Well, maybe we'll just get lucky. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. It does seem as if it started 5 minutes early today. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So this white block here is the overnight trading session high and low. It's nice just to see which way that breaks. And when you're in it, those are good targets. But what I'm most fascinated in is this sell-off starting at 11 yesterday and basically going on for an hour. So it's this larger block here. Let me color it. Okay, this white block. We started selling off hard at 11. You could also argue it went more extreme, but hey, did I make money? Icarus, I never doubted you, buddy. I never doubted you, not once. I know it looks sketchy there for a second. It's 10 a.m. European time. Yeah, Icarus is actually European, so maybe that's really the discrepancy. Hey, I'm not going to complain. $400 locked in. We're not going to complain about that. Anyway, I'm looking at this general large order sell-off, which, I mean, even you could kind of chalk it up to this. I want to see, do we take out 25,200? If we take out 25,200, I think the party is fully back on. I really do. I really do. So I'm watching that on the NASDAQ. I'd prefer that the SPY looks better, but surprise, surprise, where are we battling it out? Right at the top of the transition zone, because this is just a basic mathematical analysis of how market makers have to hedge out their books. So it's no surprise that when the market makers are of no influence, all of a sudden price gets a little bit more sticky there because it's dependent on other market participants to decide if we go up or down. And really, if we start, well, here you have a little bit of this trend line. Do I want to take this trend line breakout trade on my Vanquish account? I should log into Vanquish. Faster, Matthew. Faster. Faster, Matthew. Faster. Log in. Hang on. I'm getting my Vanquish account. I'm looking at some 0DTE degenerate SPX. Where are we at? All right. I'm looking at some degen stuff. All right, I have the order ready. I'm looking at SPX 0DTE calls, and I'm looking at the 6735 strike. I'm looking at the 6735 strike. 8. I'm in at 720, which means I need out at 870. All right, we're letting it rip. I'm playing for this breakout. I don't know if this is too small. I could zoom in, but you guys can see. I have 10. I told you 0DTE, long calls. I have 10. I'm in at 720. I do have a pending order to get out at 870, which would be a gain of $1,500, which is max based on like their consistency rules. So I'm looking to get $1,500 off of that. And basically the bet is that this is a successful test and breakout. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. CoreWeave is looking great. NVIDIA is looking great. Broadcom is looking great. AMD is looking great. A little bit of a breather right now. SOFI trying to come back around. Palantir trying to come back around. Tesla trying to come back around. Hood doing nothing. Apple did a little bit of profit taking. Microsoft popped, going flat right now. Oracle trying to fight back after that hit yesterday. CoreWeave is looking good right now. CoreWeave is looking good. SPX, we're knocking on the door of this breakout here. I'll set an alert. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll set an alert for a new intraday high. And we're going to delete this other one. We don't care about just the trend line. We care about a new high. But I do like this pattern of lower highs and lower lows. We pop, we make a fresh high, then we pull back, we make a higher low, and now the question is, can we keep pushing? So will this go A, B, C, D? If you were to do that very methodically, if you're like, nope, I want to trade long position, short position right here. Do I do it this way first? Okay, yeah. If you were to do a measured move, how long is this distance? So we were from 29 to 18, so that's 11 points. And 11 points on top of 22. So you would get this out at basically 33.
Order filled.
What? What the fuck just happened? In at 95, it ran up to 200, but got me a fill at 94. Some of these lost money, but then other ones made money, and it's the same strategy? Huh? Well, that's a bit confusing, folks. Oh, hey. Oh, look at that. Oh, wait, it's unrealized still. I haven't made it yet. But hey, whatever that was, that 10 a.m. pump, we did get a new intraday high, and this is setting up for the top side of, I have to log back in, excuse me. Don't look at my password. That would be rude. All right, let me reload this. Let me reload this. You don't need this. We are off to the races now. How the fuck did I not make money on that trade? That's a bit rude. Did I make this money? Yeah, 1,500 locked in. You're welcome. I called it out. I showed you the order. I explained it all. It all happened in real time. There's no if, ands, or buts. There's no Monday morning quarterbacking. 1.5K locked in. Called out the trade before. Gave you the reasoning for it. Showed you the exact trade, the entry, the exit. Called it out before it even hit the exit. 1.5K locked in. And just know when to shut it down. Right, just shut. When you make your money and you make it that easily, shut her down. Shut her down there, Tonto. Options flow looking good. Options flow looking good. All right, the bulls as of 10:02 in the morning, solid. Be careful. We've seen 10 a.m. reversals. I hope it doesn't happen, but because we've been seeing so much of it lately, you have to be mindful of we've been seeing 10 a.m. reversals. So I'm rooting for this party. Whoa, AMD is still looking good. Speaking of AMD, did I get my fill? No, I never even played AMD. I played Avago. All right, I did get an Avago fill. I wish I kind of played AMD. But anyway, if you are in the Discord, I finally got a fill. Finally got a fill here. I'm loading this up right now to swingers. To swingers. All right, if you're in the Discord, it is there. So I played Avago. I wish I played AMD. NVIDIA is looking good too. Tesla, somehow back in the green. It's fighting. Let me know when this thing gets above 440. Let me know when that thing wants to wake the hell up. NVIDIA, oh, that's a beautiful recovery right there on that chart. That's a beautiful higher low. Avago, same thing. AMD, not the exact same thing, but looking pretty darn good. SOFI, inside day. Palantir, inside day. Tesla, downrange day. Hood, actually, higher low day. Apple, higher low day, and not far from the all-time high at 260.10. Microsoft, inside day thus far. Oracle, inside day, but attempting to recover, maybe put in a low. This would be a lower low. I don't know why I'm playing that one. CoreWeave, inside day. Coinbase, inside day. Hut, uprange day. Oklo, inside day. Microsoft, nothing. Netflix, maybe bottoming. Rum, inside day. Open, inside day. Rigetti, uprange getting smashed. Qubits, uprange getting smashed. IONQ, inside day. MicroStrategy, inside day. All right, cool. We have an idea of what's going on. Market is currently bullish, and it's been bullish ever since 937. Mag 7 is popping, being led by semiconductors, and the SPY catching its footing at 944, popping higher. I cannot make this more evident. 6740 is a very important level. Why is it an important level? Because people sold calls there, right here. I could show you. They sold 5.1 thousand calls at 6740, and to protect the position, they bought calls at 6745. This is a neutral to bearish bet. This particular position, when you see the bar like that, they are betting that we conclude today below 6740. Below 6740. If it pushes 6740, it's going to be tough to break, but if it does break it, that's where you could see more upside because that play could get blown out. So something to consider, which is exactly why I have it marked off. And then from there, we have more plays at 6,750. But right here, this is the top half. This play right here is the top half of the Iron Condor, which the other part is down here at 6,680. And now there's an even larger one at 6,665. Actually, that's a lot of positive. That's 18,000. Golly. Remember, if you want to do this analysis yourself, this is the best tool for it. Spot Gamma, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Spot Gamma, we are the only community on God's green earth that they give 80% off to. There's no other community in the world that you can get this discount to get this phenomenal analysis. So highly recommend checking it out. Pardon me. Tesla trying to recover a little bit. NVIDIA is looking so freaking good. Avago's looking good. AMD's looking good. SOFI now getting hit. Tesla getting hit. Oracle. Whoa, pop on Oracle. Oracle's looking good intraday. Oracle is looking good intraday. I bought the dip yesterday. And I have to admit, I did not sleep well last night because I was wondering if I was stupid or not. But at 12:34, I bought the dip. So if we look at where we were at 12:30 yesterday, I bought right around here. So as of now, I'm feeling pretty smart. But this all happened. I was in the Discord. I was discussing with them. We had a good discussion of, is it a smart move? Is it a stupid move? And it basically, the end result was, if it works, you're going to seem like a genius. If it doesn't work, you're going to feel like a dumbass. So I guess I am in the former case of feeling smart, because had we opened and puked below this, I would be like, why did you do that? But now the fact that I did seemingly catch the bottom, I mean, right there's your timestamp, 12:34. I bought it a couple minutes before. I was in right around here throughout the day, feeling good. Woke up around 2 or 3 in the morning because Piper was attacking my feet, not feeling so good. I have to admit, feeling pretty good right now. My mom took Tylenol. Did yours? Yes. Did yours? Yeah. How do I get into the Discord? You sign up. It's in the description of the video. Your first month is free. And I don't know, prices are about to go up, and we're about to do a big new launch in the Discord. So if you want to, have some cheaper prices, you could try it right now. But I don't know. I haven't really been pushing the Discord lately because we've been working so much in the back end to improve it and to get other things in it. And it's been taking way longer than I anticipated. But we're slowly but surely getting there. And as soon as it is up there, you bet your butt that I will be pushing it down your throats every single day. I'll just be shoving it down your throats. No questions asked, but that's what happens when you get a multi-month break from me not talking about it. How many points do you usually go when taking a position? How many points do I normally go for what? Generally, I'm a trend following trader, so I don't have a set amount of points in mind. I want to ride the trend as long as I can, is the ultimate goal. So it's never like, oh, I just want to get in and like go this far and then call it there. If I catch a big trend, I want to catch a big trend. All right, we're coming up to our first big test, folks. Here it is. In all of its glory, we are starting to test this dimwit Discord Captain Condor. I don't want anyone to be respecting this play as in some sort of amazing Wall Street hedge fund play. It is not that. It is a Discord that has a lot of money in it, and they get blown out quite often. How many people are in the Discord? Counting or not counting the bots that I've put in there. I've put a lot of bots in there to make myself feel more important and less shitty about my life. But I don't know. How many, if you're in the Discord, what would you say, like 4 people, 5 people, maybe? I think on good days, we might get up to 6 or 7, but I would say on average, it's about 4 or 5. But also numbers aren't really my thing. Yeah, I would say average 4 or 5. Good days, we push 6 or 7. No bot. Oh, you just want to count the bots? Well, all the accounts I pay for myself to make it look more exciting. Thousands, dude. I mean, it's an army of fucking bots. A lot of money on like us. Yeah. We're more of the poor man's trading Discord. Literally tens. Literally tens.
Order submitted.
Oh, fuck. Here we go. All right, Icarus. Let's do the Icarus dance. Come on, buddy. Icarus. 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 Do it. Do it. Do it, you fucking pussy. Go, Icarus. Icarus, go. Fly to the sun. Fly to the sun, buddy. For America.
Order
Icarus!
filled.
He does it again. What can't Icarus do, folks? Man, it's so much easier to robot trade than manually trade. Like, it's so much fucking easier. I don't even know why I manually trade. We were talking about that after the market closed yesterday in the Discord, where there's at least 4 to 5 people. And It was basically a 30-minute discussion about how I'm fucking dumb. And there was talks of, was your mom on Tylenol? Did your mom drink? There's just were you dropped as a child? Perhaps you were born with another infant in the fetus and that your twin ate the cognitive aspects of your brain and you no longer have a frontal cortex. And it seems like maybe you yourself abuse drugs and alcohol. Like, it was a good intervention, I would say. I mean, for those of you in the Discord who were in that intervention yesterday, it was a pretty good one. It feels like there was like an array of mental downfalls that I'm battling, but hey, God wouldn't give me any battle I couldn't win, Morning, Matt. I'm taking my son to school. His name is... Okay, I just didn't know if you wanted me to say that out loud when it comes to kids. I'm not trying to give away like private information. How much money have I made this year? Well, the year's not over yet, so I might lose it all, but I think I'm up $183,000. I'm up 201%. 182,664 is my year-to-date return, a 200% return as of now. And I'm saying that hesitantly because that might be zero by the time this year ends. But as of now, hey, if your kid's going to school, I'm telling you, kid, listen to me. I know school might seem lame sometimes, but please pay attention in math class. Dude, if you are the kid who is good at math, and I know sometimes it's annoying and maybe you don't like math class, but the way the world is now and the way the world is going, if you have competent skills in math and communication, you have to be good at math and you have to be good at communicating your understanding of math. If you do those two things, you're going to have a great life. I don't really give a shit if you pay attention in your other classes. I'm sure your mom does, and you should work well to be a good student. But the classes you should really care about are math. Pay attention to math, get good at math, and learn how to communicate math, and your life will be far, far easier than your classmates. I'm telling you, I'm promising you this world. If you're good at math, you're going to be good at life. And it sucks. I get that it could be boring. I'm not saying it's not boring. But I'm telling you, putting in that little extra effort right now throughout your education process, it will pay dividends. It will pay dividends. But I don't know. Hopefully your teachers don't suck. But also, that's a cool part of AI, is if you're having a tough time in math class, you could go to AI and get it to help you. I guess that's why I'm not good at life. Chaos. Did you not go to math? Did I hire a person that didn't go to math class? I think I'm just finding out right now that my own producer didn't take math. Historians punching the wall right now. Yeah, dude, if you don't want to pay attention in history class, whatever. You could Google it. You don't have to memorize any of that shit. But anyway, I think I need a more strenuous screening for my interview process because I think my producer is saying he didn't take math. Which, that's on me, honestly. I guess I should have asked that question. I should have very much asked that question. I guess that's why I became a mailman. Maybe. I majored, when I went to school, I started in mechanical engineering because I didn't know that computer science was a thing. And then on an internship, I learned about programming. So I switched to computer engineering. And then I learned about computer engineering a little bit more. And I was like, dude, I don't really care about the hardware. Let's get into the software. So then I switched to computer science. So I went mechanical engineering, computer engineering to computer science. That's what my undergrad is in. And then from there, I was like, you know what? I want to take trading more seriously. And really what I wanted to be was a quant on Wall Street. So I was like, okay, most of the time you need a PhD, but sometimes they can make an exception if you have a master's. So I was working on my master's in statistics, and that happened when the pandemic hit. So my program got put on pause, and I just never returned because my content took off. But I was working on my master's in statistics. So if I were doing school now, I actually wouldn't do computer science anymore because I think AI has really, really shifted things. But I would be willing. I think if I had to go to school now, first of all, I would know that I'm going for 5 years, and I would try to double major. I would double major in finance and then a hardcore STEM field. I would either do statistics, data analytics, or a program that kind of puts all that together with programming. And I'm hesitant to say computer science now because I feel like the world is shifting quite a bit. But whatever would be similar to that, where you're getting data analytics, you're getting statistics, and you're kind of putting that all together. I would double major in those. And then I would either go right to work in that world, or if I needed to, I would then move on and like specialize in specifically math for a master's program or a PhD, and probably do statistics again because that's what this world is running on. So knowing that, that's how I wish I redid my college career. Not that I use my degree at all anymore. I mean, really, if I could redo my college career, I wish I just hopped on to OnlyFans. Isn't AI going to do that? No, kind of. If anything, I would say getting into the world where you're the person who knows how to utilize AI is going to be a massive benefit. Oracle getting clocked. Why? Tesla picking up. SoFi trying to pick up. AMD, Avago, NVIDIA. Oracle got clocked. CoreWeave. Apple's taking off. What about Microsoft? Apple might be going for that new high today. It's at 260.10 cents. PhD and stair stepper. Dude, I hit 200 flights yesterday and I didn't even get into zone 4. My heart is literally getting too healthy for me to work out. It's actually crazy. My heart is at the level, I think my heart could keep an elephant alive. Like, truly. I mean, I am at the point where, dude, I didn't even crack zone 4, and I did 200 flights in 35 minutes. 200 flights in 35 minutes, and my heart's like, whatever, we've been here before. When I first started stair stepping, my journey as a professional stair stepper, at least in my own mind, I remember the first time I did it, I did 80 flights and I thought I was going to die. And I'm pretty sure I hit like zone 6, which wasn't even a thing. Like scientists, biologists were like, is zone 6, are hearts allowed to go this high without going into cardiac arrest? And that was 80 flights and definitely a slower speed. And now it's a faster speed, 2.5x the amount of flights. And we're not even cracking zone 4. Weirdly enough, I've been trying to get my heart into zone 5 just to see what it feels like. And on the stair stepper, I can't. I think I have to go do like sprints or something. I think I need to do more of a HIIT-esque type of a workout to hit zone 5. Because when I'm doing like almost steady state cardio, I just can't hit zone 5. What are these zones you speak of? It's just tranches for your heart rate. There's zone 1 through 5. They say to like just steady state cardio to burn off weight, you want to be zone 2 or 3. Working out at higher intensity, zone 4. And zone 5 is like kind of like where you're going nuts. And if you spend too much time there, heart might pop or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. As you guys know, I did not study that in college. Okay, where do we run into? NVIDIA's looking good. Apple's looking good. Mag 7. We did pop until about 10, going a little bit flat now. SPY starting at 10.12, a little bit of profit taking. Right here, people ran it right into the Captain Condor, the call credit spread, the CCS, and got hit. Will we retest it? Look, we overshot it. Let me go to the 1 minute. We overshot the call credit. Like, who else is giving you these types of call outs? I bet you everyone and their grandma. If you bring up Grandma's Trade Live, I bet if we turned into that show right now, everyone's like, we're going to 6,750. That's going to be the key level. It's a key psychological level. Who else is giving you these call outs? That's like, nope, we're going to stop here. And the crazy thing is it's not difficult. All you have to do is look right there and be like, oh, wow, that's a large bar. Oh, okay, that's a big positive gamma node. I want you to understand the fact that, first of all, no one else is calling it out these levels perfectly, but also it is not difficult. You watching this day one of trading can notice, oh, holy shit, that's a big bar. Maybe I should pay attention to it. That's all it is. Like, that's what's insane to me is people who are quote unquote educating and these trading gurus and furus, they're not doing the bare minimum because this is, granted, it's not like step one, but it's step two. It's not hard. All of us looking at the screen right now, if you're not listening to me and you're just looking at the screen, you too could realize, oh, holy shit, that's a lot different than all these other levels. Maybe I should pay attention to it. Then you switch over and you're like, okay, that's a big positive gamma node. Maybe the market's going to react to it. So all you do is sort it up on your chart. It's just that. Like, it's not crazy. Why do you go with the Whoop and not Apple Watch? I was told that it's more accurate for health readings than the Apple Watch. Like, it just has more, I don't know, I guess it's like as a wearable, it's more accurate for working out. It has more information, is what I've been told, and what my 4 seconds of research also, I don't know, produced. I mean, I have friends who wear both an Apple Watch and a Whoop, and they wearing both, which first of all, I'll make fun of them endlessly because that's crazy. When wearing both, they like the Apple Watch because it's connected to your other Apple products. So if you want to, whatever, listen to music, if you want to text someone, if you want to check your email, things like that, that's good. But if you're looking just for a wearable that is doing your health readings and your heart rate and whatever, your variable heart rate and your sleep score and this and that, it seems like Whoop is definitely the product. Matt, as one who is still searching for consistency, I appreciate you sharing some of these looks into the expensive but useful softwares that help onboarding for new traders. Folks, I'm more than happy to chit chat about that because you're looking at a guy who spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on all of these tools. I am more than happy to tell you the ones that are completely not worth it, the ones that are worth it if you have some extra money to spend, and then ones that are absolute necessities. Like, that's how I kind of split it up in my mind. But I find that there's some very, very popular ones that are actual trash in terms of like not giving you, the trader, the client, the right proper analysis. The only options tool that I think is worth it if you want to spend the money, and I would consider it a necessity, not necessarily because of the money it makes me, it does make me a lot of money, but because of the money it saves me from doing stupid trades, is Spot Gamma. If you're looking at another options analytics tool, in my book, it doesn't matter. I've used all the main ones. I bought them all. I've tried them all out. I've done deep dives into them. This is the only one that is worthwhile. There's a reason why when we're talking about options, I bring up nothing else. I have a subscription to all of them, and I'll check them out. But first of all, this is far more powerful. But what I find to be very concerning is I myself, and people have pointed this out on Twitter and Reddit, some of these other ones that are really, really popular, they're actually giving you inaccurate data. Like, the data they are giving you is not good. It is not right. It is an improper analysis. Literally, the data you might be basing trades off of on other ones is just inaccurate. They've been called out for it, and it's basically, it's a cost-cutting, cost-saving measure for them where they'll buy like delayed shitty streams, or they won't buy data from all of the exchanges and blah, 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 one thing or another. The most accurate and pure form of data that I know of that you can get as a retail trader is going to be from Spot Gamma. Now, if you want to pay for Spot Gamma or don't, that's up to you, and that's a different thing. But I would not, if I'm getting a data analytics tool for options, it's either, in my mind, it's either that one or none at all. I wouldn't go to another one because I'd be too worried about inaccurate data. I would be way, 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 way too worried about it. I like Gexbot. Oh, I like Gexbot too. It's just not as powerful as Spot Gamma. Spot Gamma has a lot more bells and whistles, but what Gexbot does have is accurate data, at least for the overall market. But because I trade the overall market and a lot of individual equities, I kind of need Spot Gamma. All right, what are we doing? Mag 7 is still ripping. The bullish trend in the combination of Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Tesla has not stopped. And we are just pinned to this gamma level. Are we going to break or not? I don't know. Stay tuned. We are right at the level. If we do break, unfortunately, there's resistance at 50, 54, and 70. I would love a breakout. Like, folks, if I were a fucking magic wizard from the land of Harry Potter and working at Hogwarts, and if I had a magic wand to make this breakout happen, I would. The chance of this breakout, though not zero, is very low because there's a lot of structure at 40, at 50, at 55, and at 60. I would love the breakout rip to 6,800. It would make me a very wealthy man. If you're betting on that, I'm not rooting against you. I'm rooting with you. But I'm also trying to be realistic of the likelihood of that occurring. And unfortunately, it is just not high. I mean, if we zoom out, you have right here, we have this call credit spread. You have people playing 50. You have people playing 60. You have people playing 70 now. Like, it's just, you have people, it's just, that's going to be difficult to overcome. It is possible, but what it would look like, okay, let me zoom in right here. See this 0 DTE pump on the SPY from 10 to 1012? You would see that endlessly. It would just keep going. That's what you would have to see for the breakout to occur. And right now, it seems like we're already losing our footing a little bit, but it would be nonstop, just delta pump. It would kind of look like the Mag 7 in all reality. So is it possible? Yeah, but it's kind of like you'd have to show it to me to prove it type of a deal. I've been trading Apex NQ for 2 weeks and hella up. Need my consistency in MAA under control and payouts are coming. Thanks. Remember, as soon as you can do a request, you should do a request, Randy, because they're first going to deny you for breaking the MAE, but that's the only thing you can do to reset it. So when you apply for the payout, if you've broken the MAE, they're going to say no, but then it's a restart and you don't lose any of your money or anything. You just have to then trade for another 8-day period with a clean slate. So because your MAE has been broken, the only thing you could do to restart is to get a denied payout. So as soon as you could do the payout request, you should do it, because other than that, as you trade and trade and trade, eventually you're going to want to do the payout. But because you already broke the MAE once, you have to kind of hit a restart to that. And the restart is a denied payout. So as soon as you can, you should do the payout request knowing it's going to get denied, so you can start a fresh window. And once again, if you have a denied payout, they don't take the money from you. They just say you have to trade now at minimum for another 8 days. Have you ever heard of Bob Kendall? If so, thoughts? Never heard of Bob Kendall. Bob? I don't. Is this Bob Kendall? The University of Iowa, Tippy College of Business? Is it this guy? That's a fucking hell of a mustache. They don't make him like that anymore. They don't make him like that anymore. No. Bob Kendall, the skier? An American skier, he competed in the Nordic combined event in the 1972 Winter Olympics. Probably the shortest Wikipedia page I've ever seen in my life. Seems to have written some pretty cool programs. The older gen, I just don't know who he is. If it's the guy with the mustache, that's awesome. If it's the guy with the mustache, that is awesome. Oh, I'm afraid. Is my account good enough to now look back at where I was? Ooh, I'm down on Avago. That's not good. I'm down on Tesla and I'm down on Oracle. I don't think I've had a winning trade on Oracle. Hey, but my averaging down on SPY, QQQ, and NDX has now officially gotten me back into the green. So the little dip buying I pulled off yesterday did assist the account. And I'm afraid to check my degenerate account. I'll do it. Oh, I'm up. Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. America. I was down 15K on that fucking account yesterday. I averaged in, and now it's up 4.5. Hell yeah, dude. I did not sleep well last night. You know, I just spent hours in the fight caves in OSRS just to take my mind off of it, to the point that my wife, she's like, are you coming to bed? And I was like, I gotta beat Jad. And I know many of you listening to this right now have no idea what I'm talking about, but for the 1 to 2 to 3 people who know exactly what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I spent hours just fucking up Chad to take my mind off the fact that I almost financially ruined myself in all reality. You know, I was like, Matt, you're so fucking dumb. Why are you taking Tylenol? Your mom took Tylenol. You're taking Tylenol. But I did beat Jad, by the way. What does your wife think of RuneScape? I don't know. Generally, she gets yapping and I just tune her out and I just go back to catching shrimp. Something about, you don't give me enough attention. We used to talk a lot more. Why do you care more about this shitty game than you do our marriage? And I just figure, you know, my mindset on marriage is a little bit different than everyone else's. My mindset on marriage is no one cares about a marriage that's been great since day one. Like, when you hear about that, you're like, okay, whatever. They met each other. They fell in love. They have a great marriage. Ooh. Everyone likes the story of a marriage that got fucked up and then they somehow saved it, you know? So I'm kind of at that point where, like, I'm doing it for the plot. I'm doing it for the plot where, like, everyone, for the more exciting, they're like, oh man, their fucking marriage is on tilt. It's on the wire here. And then they save it. You know? That's where I'm at. Just tell her to calm down. That works. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I do not know about that one.
Order submitted.
Order submitted on the day of my daughter's wedding. On the day of my daughter's wedding? It is long again at 25222 point. It'd be funny if it was 0.25, but it's not. It's 0.75. Targeting 30. Targeting 30. Come on, Icarus. I believe, theoretically, if I wanted it to be, this could be the final trade of the day if I want to turn it off after this. If that one hits, it'll be a good chunk of change on the day. But it did go along as the Mag 7's taking a little bit of a dip, so hopefully there's not too much profit taking involved here. But let's see how it plays out. We have time. We're not swinging that big. We're not on tilt. At least we're not on tilt yet. We are not on tilt yet. Am I missing any major news? 5-minute bullish, 10-minute bullish, 30-minute bullish, 4-hour bullish, 5-minute bullish, 10-minute bullish, 30-minute bullish, 4-hour bullish. All right, we might as well set up all these breakout alerts at this point. Look at that beautiful trend on the 4-hour. We're fighting back. We're fighting back. So we went up to 40, we pulled back, high or low, we fought again, hit 45, oddly enough. We're going to go to 50. The next one is the high from 2 days ago, 49, the key technical, psychological, and open interest level at 50, and then we have the all-time high at 54.49. So this little region could be important, but let's not put the cart in front of the horse because first we have to hit that, and ideally we don't take out this recent low that we saw at 1022. Ideally, we do not take out the recent low. Potential little double top situation here in the Qs, and Really, if anything, A, B, C, D. Yeah, like that was just follow through on the SPY. NVIDIA kind of going flat. Apple taking a little bit of a hit right now. Broadcom was taking a hit, bouncing back. AMD, fine. SOFI, nothing. Palantir, nothing. Tesla was trying to recover, got hit. Hood, nice pump, taking a little bit of a breather right now. Microsoft did take a little bit of a hit, but recovering. Oracle was looking good, no longer. CoreWeave did pump and now just going sideways. All right, don't forget, SpotChem at 80% off, and Apex, not only do you get 80% off, but it's a one-time lifetime upgrade fee for your performance to your funded, and you could use that code Goonie to get that deal. Are we missing? I want to know, am I missing any like major news with you guys? Are we missing anything? Any big movers? NVIDIA's CEO says he's surprised AMD offered 10% of the company in a clever OpenAI deal. Dude, there's no way this guy is stoked. He has to be so pissed off. Verizon signs deal with AST Space Mobile to provide cellular service from space. From space. James Comey pleads not guilty to charges sought by Trump. Trial set for January 5th. Bank of England warns of sharp market correction if AI bubble bursts. Well, my mom had a dick, she'd be my dad. I don't know. If. Amazon launches prescription vending machines at one medical clinics in Los Angeles. All right, I'm not seeing much there. We're just getting a little bit of a recover, but no major news. Let's see what else we have. Wall Street Journal. James Comey pleads not guilty to charges of lying to Congress inside the death spiral of San Francisco's most storied mall. Trump calls for jailing of Chicago mayor and Illinois governor. All right. Nothing really there. Stocks find buyers after slide as gold hits 4,000. Federal workers go unpaid, adding pressure to end government shutdown. Jefferies Fund has $715 million in First Brands trade debt. Okay. Polymarket founder's youngest self-made billionaire after deal with the New York Stock Exchange owner. Wow. Shane Copland launched Polymarket in June of 2020 as the youngest self-made billionaire. That's impressive. That's impressive, folks. Ronaldo becomes the first football billionaire with big Saudi contract. How much money was it? How much money?
Cristiano Ronaldo is football's first billionaire player.
The Portuguese legend's $400 million
400 million? Dude, the Saudis
has catapulted him into a highly select group of the world's richest sports.
Saudi money is a different $1.4 billion.
According to the Bloomberg Billionaires.
Golly.
Making him the first footballer to join the exclusive list.
Saudi money hits differently.
The boy who made his senior debut for Sporting Lisbon at 17 went on to record-breaking success at Manchester United, Real Madrid, and Juventus. While Ronaldo has long collected checks from brand deals with Nike, Armani, and Castrol, it's been his stint at Al Nassr that
1.4 billion.
Ronaldo also secured a 15% stake in the team.
And he
jet access
owns
and
an eighth of the team.
Bonuses. Saudi Arabia's zero income tax.
Zero income, this guy's
48% rate back home in Portugal. And unlike other billionaire sports people like Roger Federer or Michael Jordan, whose fortunes come from brand ownership, the bulk of Ronaldo's wealth comes purely from salary.
The fact that he's making that money and avoiding taxes, that's next level. That's next level. That's impressive. Good for him, man. Good for him. $1.4 billion. And he's sidestepping taxes. What a guy. What a freaking guy. All right. What else are we missing? Nothing. Market kind of going flat. CoreWeave giving a little bit of it up. NVIDIA is going flat. Avago bouncing back. AMD. Things are stalling out. Here, Tesla may be catching a little bit of a bid. Mag 7 just hit a new Delta high. AMD popped, going flat. Apple popped, gave some back. Avago popped, going flat. Coin kind of trending up, but looking a little ugly. CoreWeave popped, kind of going flat. Hood popped, still going up. Microsoft popped, going flat. MicroStrategy popped, now giving it all back. Meta, ugly. Netflix popped, gave it back, popped again, going flat. NVIDIA climbing, going flat now, but obviously bullish. Oracle popped, giving a little bit of it back. Palantir dropped, going flat. And Tesla dropped, popped, flat, dropped, popped. Looks like no one knows how to trade Tesla today. Looks like no one knows how to trade Tesla today. Moving to Saudi Arabia. I mean, did you guys hear about the comic festival that like they were getting paid a shitload of money and now they're all kind of getting hated on, especially Bill Burr. They did it with Liv. Is Matt one of those influencers that have been paid by Israel? Heard they're slinging 7K at a time, not accusing. Just, dude, I wish. Israel, if you are listening, or any government, or any political party, if you want to put some money in your boy's pocket to speak positively about you or negatively about someone else, the door is open and the price is surprisingly low. Like, Netanyahu, ringity ding 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 ding. You give your boy 5K, I will be the most devout Israel supporter out there. Palestine, if you want to call me up, if you want to up it, come in at 6K, and you want me to talk shit on Israel, happy to do it. Saudi Arabia, I am more than happy to overlook the murdering of journalists for the right fee. China, I will happily say whatever you do or don't want me to say about Uyghur camps, whatever it is. United States, I will be the biggest supporter or antagonist to whatever political party you need me to be. It is, doors are open. Email is there. Phone lines are free. Dude, we could make this happen. We go, dude, happily. But alas, they don't chit chat with me. They do not chit chat with me. Free Palestine? Maybe, if you pay me enough. Hell, I'll start screaming. I'll yell free Israel if you give me enough money. Kohrs only God is money. Dude, I'm not being picky here. If the Vatican wants me, Vatican honestly might have the deepest pockets to pull this off. If you want me to start preaching the holy word of the Bible, telling you how we all need to be Catholics and to overlook hundreds of years of just brutal murder to insulate their own power, I'm here. Vatican, dude, doors open to anyone, guys. Bringing back $2 bribe to crap on Kamala and Dems. Is she even still doing it? Like, at this point, she's fallen so far. I think she's crapping on herself. Why was she in the news recently? Oh, because she wrote her book and she was basically just talking about how she couldn't pick Pete Buttigieg because he's gay. Free what? Beachside real estate? Whoever. Is there a channel that is in Discord for discussing building trading bots? Not an independent channel. We just talk about it, and I have videos. There's videos on YouTube. There's videos in the Discord, and then there's a lot of people in the Discord doing that. So it's not like its own independent building trading bot channel. I bet these countries can't fund your next fishing excursion like this community could. Think about how many nets you can procure with 100K GP. It's a fair point. That's a fair point. You're not wrong. Mag 7 flows. I know price isn't looking what you want it to right now, but the flow is good. I get that the expiration for this Friday has gone flat, but the longer duration, people are buying calls non-stop, brother. Non-stop. More. They're fucking hungry little hippos. Look at these. What is that? Is it Apple? It is not Apple. Is it Avago? It's a little bit of Avago, which makes me feel like it's NVIDIA. It is NVIDIA. A little bit of NVIDIA. Is it Oracle? Nope. Is it Palantir? Nope. Is it Tesla? Nope. Is it Microsoft? A little bit of Microsoft. It's a little bit of Hood. Okay, so it's a little bit of Avago and a little bit of an AVDA, NVIDIA right there. We're seeing a little bit of a, whoa, it's still, it's something else. Is it Microsoft? Is it Apple? I'm having a tough time finding the culprit here. Who the fuck is it? What else? Is it Meta? It's not Meta, is it? Holy shit. It is partly Meta. Okay. Meta catching a bid and NVIDIA catching a bid. Could be Amazon. Hang on. Oh, duh. It is very much Amazon. What's going on over there? About to get a technical breakout off a higher low. I kind of like the structure. So this low, higher than the previous low, a little bit of a technical breakout, a recapture of the 50 EMA. We're seeing good flow. AM's in. Let's see. Let's check out the risk reward. Currently trading at 224. You have a target at 235. We have support at 220, 215. It's about 1-to-1. So the risk reward's about 1-to-1, but I do like the trend. But yeah, no, Amazon popping right now. We should check in on Google as well. A little bit of Google, but the thing that's really moving right now with respect to options, you can see starting at 1020, no one's touching puts. They are getting longer dated calls for sure. They are getting longer dated calls. Longer dated calls. SPY doing nothing. Q's kind of getting close to this low. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but in reality, we got this pop at 10. And when we were talking about these 10 a.m. reversals, I guess the reversal today was not really from bullish to bearish. It was from bullish to neutral. Like literally 10 a.m. was the last jolt. Then we kind of drifted up, drifted down, drifted up, drifted down. Not much going on there. Amazon. Look at that go. Look at that go. I have no position on Amazon. What a dip buy you had this morning on it, though. What the dip buy you had. All right, I'm going to mark out some SPY levels, some Q levels. Amazon. Consumer staples, consumer discretionary might be ripping now. Tech losing a little bit of its footing, but Amazon, golly, look at that. We're coming right up to that 50 EMA. A push above 225 is a nice win. Not long ago, 216. And if you really want to ride this all the way back up, you might be looking at 238. I didn't necessarily miss the entry. I guess I need to do a deeper dive into what in the world's going on with Amazon, but I do like the higher low. I do like the technical breakout. I do like the strength of the options flow. It's just more of, I kind of want the risk to reward to be better than 1-to-1, but maybe there's a way I could structure that a little bit more cleverly. Maybe a debit spread or something like that. Maybe selling puts. I don't know. I need to dive into it, but right now I have no position. UNH, how is that healthcare play doing? Is it recovering still from alleged Medicare fraud? It is recovering. Was flying high at 604. Bad earnings, Medicare fraud, investigations, dips all the way to 236. What a fall from grace that was. A 61% dip, now followed by a 59% pop. Going for this first upside gap fill here at 377. And there's another upside gap fill all the way to 583. I just want to let you know, I'm not playing with it just because if they are found guilty of this fraud, that's probably not going to be good. But obviously the market is starting to price in the fact that maybe they did not commit fraud. So just want to let you know, technically, I do like the recovery, but adding a little bit of context to the overall story does not make me the most stoked. does not make me the most stoked. But hey, if you're an active trader and you're willing to take on a little bit of risk, I hope you crush it. Oh, wow. Qs. I am very much hoping that this is one of those fake out breakdowns where it just tilts past the previous low and then it pops. I'm very, very much hoping it's one of those situations. Very, very much hoping it is one of those situations. Instead, where's the MSFT now? Price is going down, but the flow is actually fine. Okay, SPY started to get hit right there. Starting at 1050-ish, a little bit of call selling, a little bit of put buying. So putting those two together, that's why you're seeing the delta fall off in the short term. But obviously the overall trend on the day is still up, but looks a little dramatic. If anything, we just fell to this support at 40. Unfortunately, it might set up to be a shoulder, head, shoulder. So be careful of the snap of the 1022 low. Be careful if you're bullish. If you're bullish, also maybe we get this recovery. We tried to get up to 50, got smacked. Like I said, maybe a shoulder, head, shoulder. Be careful of the snap of the neckline, the 1022 low. Be careful with that in terms of risk, but also maybe for a trade later on today or maybe shortly here, a recovery of this downsloping trend line, a recovery of 6740, risking whatever the recent low is at that point, maybe targeting 50, 55, 60, something like that. So you have to be open to the fact that this could easily break either way. It could easily snap this low at 1022 and vomit all the way back down to 25, or it could just end up being a higher low. We break this trend line, we recapture 40 and go back up to 50, 55. So don't try to predict it, just react to the play. I have a few hundred NVIDIA shares. I wanted to try to cover the calls on 205 for the 17th. Any cautionary advice? I'll be breaking my options, Sherry. Just whatever you decide to sell it at, just make sure you're okay with giving up the shares there if you are wrong. Because that's what happens. If you are wrong, it means that you are limiting your profits. So if you are okay with getting rid of your NVIDIA at 205, that's what you have to ask yourself beforehand. So if you're okay with that, have at it. If you're not okay with that, do not do it. So because that's the worst side. When you're doing covered calls, there's really no downside. The downside is best explained as you are limiting your upside potential. So the downside here would be if NVIDIA just goes to 205 and explodes above it, you'll be missing out on those additional profits up to 205. So if you're okay with that, have at it. If you're not okay with it, do not have at it. But I like covered calls. I think it's one of the best tools available to traders. I really do. It's a great way to continually add, and generally, I generally will sell covered calls at levels that'd be fine getting out of the stock anyway. We have been bleeding off ever since 1040. The Qs are right at that low from 1021, while the SPY is right above it. I'm basically watching for a recapture of this 40, and I want to see this trend line break out, and I'd love to see a higher low. The Mag 7, even though Qs are tilting, the flow is fine, which until I see this really take a hit, I'm still in buy the dip mode. SPY did take a little bit more of a hit, but is already showing some signs of bottoming. It's going to come to this, but also be mindful of the fact that we are in that lunge period. Ooh, we tilted right back into this. So price try to get, this is right where we started selling off yesterday at 11. So we did get that breakout, but look at this. We got sucked right back into it. So I know price was a little bit red beforehand. Like right here, we were fine. But you could argue the breakdown was clearly between 1050 and 11. And that's also right when we got some news and blah, blah, blah. So we tried to get this breakout. We went from 191 actually all the way up to 230. So we broke out by 40 points, which is about an entire dollar on the Qs. And now we're getting sucked right back into it. So I'd prefer that maybe this is a shallow pullback and then we keep going. But if this is a fake out breakout, something to be concerned about for sure. Something to be concerned about. But the mags, this divergence is confusing because starting at 1040, the mag 7's still been fine, but price is going down. Looking at the NASDAQ, it's a slight drift down. It might just be the 0 DTE impact right here. Calls getting sold. Ever since 1011, you have some puts, but it's just kind of drifting. It's not really anything in all reality. Like, I wouldn't argue that we're like, oh, all of a sudden plummeting. Yeah, obviously I would have preferred that we held 200. That would have been a nice win. But even this dip, it's a 25-point dip. This could easily pop. Granted, it could also easily just sell. But as long as options are holding stable, I'm not going to be that worried about it. When price is going down, but options remain stable, it puts me in the mode of buy the dip. It obviously, I would be changing my tune if I also see options starting to capitulate. But if price is down and options are holding, that tells me that the real players they're not getting out. And as long as they're in, I might as well be in. As long as they're in, I might as well be in. But I would love it. I would love a test of 50, 55 today. Would love this zone, but gotta be patient. Also, always be mindful of the fact of maybe you're just wrong, which is why exactly I'm pointing out the shoulder, head, shoulder. So if we snap the neckline, that would probably set up a test to either 25 or 18 or 15 or somewhere in there. So I'm hoping that the market can hold whatever this low is at 1022. Unfortunately, the NASDAQ already broke that low right here. But this is pretty systematic. This is seemingly someone just unloading a bit of size. Kind of watching this down. Like, you can kind of see it here at 1040, just kind of perfectly channeled down. So maybe as soon as whatever this system is that's repositioning or selling or buying or who knows, whatever they're doing, hopefully this is just a higher low and we can recover above 200. And I want to see that with a recovery above 40. And actually that might be getting underway right now. Someone just said Tesla. Tesla's doing nothing. You got me all excited. NVIDIA showing a little bit of life. Broadcom showing a little bit of life. AMD looking really good. SOFI showing a little bit of life. Palantir, Tesla, Hood showing a little bit of life. Apple showing a little bit of life. Microsoft, no. Oracle, no. CoreWeave did pop, got hit. All right, let's see. Any major news this week to come? Okay, so at 3 p.m., we get the FOMC meeting minutes, the detailed report of the last FOMC meeting. Tomorrow, Jerome Powell speaking at 8:30 in the morning. Those are the next two things you have to pay attention to. And technically, there's a 10-year bond auction, note auction today at 1 p.m. and a 30-year bond auction tomorrow at 1 p.m. So the way it goes is today at 1 p.m., 10-year note auction. At 3 p.m., FOMC meeting minutes. Tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m., an hour before the market opens, the chairman of the Fed, Jerome Powell, will be speaking publicly. And then at 1 p.m. tomorrow, there's going to be the 30-year bond auction. So note auction, FOMC meeting minutes, Fed chair speech, bond auction. Those between today and tomorrow, that's what you should probably be paying attention to. That's what you should probably be paying attention to. All right, I am hoping that this is just a higher low and we can just fucking rip, brother. Let's see if we can just rip. Come on. Here's a look at the Mag 7, still holding, price finally rubber banding back. And then looking at the SPY, little bit of an uptick here. So it did clearly get hit, bounce, got hit, put in a lower low. So I want to see not only price take out these recent highs, but I also want to see the delta reading take out these highs. So it's all coming back to what happened at 1040. Watch the 1040 price high and watch the 1040 delta high. And then obviously on top of that, watch the key levels. Are we holding 40? So basically, are we holding 40? And can we take out 44? NQ, can we hold basically 190, 200? And more important than that, can we take out basically 220? At that point, I'd feel pretty good that this was a fake out breakdown. And I'd feel pretty good about the overall trend, which it seems like we might be heading that way anyway. Oh, NVIDIA. Amazon is looking good. Amazon's delta flow is impressive. Amazon's flows look... It's a pre-recording for PAL tomorrow. So it's just being released at 8:30. I'll have to look into that. It might be a pre-recording that I guess goes live is what my producer is saying. If it is that, we'll probably start at the normal time of 9 and we'll just play it. But if it's a live talk, we'll listen. Look at that pop. Look at that pippity pop. Look at that pippity pop. I'm just fucking off with people on the stream right now, or in the... Hang on. Pickle Me Timbers, Steven, Tom, both Toms. We have Tom Leaps and Tom from MySpace. Did Trex ever make it back today? Or did he take his ball and fucking go home crying because we muted him for 30 minutes? I don't know if he's in chat today. For those of you who maybe missed it, this guy was stoked that I lost money and had a shit trade yesterday, so I muted him for 30 minutes, and I think he's now freaking out. Dude, uh-oh. What the fuck was that? I don't know if I've ever seen a grown man... Ranko, did I get a shout out? No, because I don't know how to say your name. Rengoku? If I knew how to say your name, I'd say it more often, but I'm always a little bit confused. Those are a combination of letters that I have to admit. No, you ran him off. Technically, he ran himself off. You scared him away. Dude, I mean, it was a 30-minute mute. 30 minutes. That's it. No one was banned or anything like that. He's using it as burner? Maybe. I mean, I don't want him to go. I don't want anyone to necessarily go. It's a 30-minute mute. Like, who's going to replace him? Dr. J, that could be you. Rengoku is correct. Immediately before we bashed him that he was upset, I stole his first chat message 2 days in a row. Meme per it doesn't shout out because I provided absolutely nothing to chat except a hilarious name, Gone Postal. Silver's popping. Hang on, Silver's popping. Dude, gold is fucking ripping. Look at gold, dude. It's a runaway train. SI Silver Futures. Silver's going too, dude. Oh, man, dude. All these precious metals are popping. Oh, I thought he got banned. No, I'm not going to ban him. To get banned, you have to be like an actual fucking asshole. Trex wasn't being an actual asshole. He was just being an asshole. If you're just being an asshole, like, dude, there's literally mods in Discord who have gotten banned in chat. Like, it's kind of like a fuck off thing. But I'm not going to ban someone just because, like, they're being shitty about my trades. That's not like a... Like, you have to be like a real fucking prick to get actually banned. But just to get muted for a little bit, people will get over it. It's like, it was literally 30 minutes. But whatever, people are going to be babies over a 30-minute. It's not a ban, it's a mute. Shout out Boston Symphony. All right, well, at this point, you guys know my positions. I'm riding it higher and higher and higher. Actually, hang on. Can I ride this one with you guys? Maybe I'll do... I'm still long NQ at 25,222.2. It's actually 0.75, but 0.25 sounds better. I'm trying to get out at 30. I'm trying to lock in 7.25 points on this pop to the intraday high. Technically, I'm slightly undershooting the intraday high. I don't know. Trex Stamine told me otherwise. Maybe, but then he's a liar. I don't know what to tell you. Yo, Matt, serious question. Are you going to Burning Man next year? No. What was it? Is your real name Greg? Yes, he is. Matt gave him I thought he was a mod this whole time. Trex? No. Actually, I think the only mod currently in chat is... Ooh, we're still pushing here. I think the only mod currently in chat is Chaos, who's also the producer. Ren Goku, Trex told me otherwise too. I'm telling you, it's a 30-minute mute. I'm promising you, it's a 30-minute mute. Like, absolutely promising you. Trex better be back. It's not. I mean, I hope he comes back. I'm not like. I think it's fucked up to root that someone's losing money, but I don't think it's so fucked up that I'm gonna be like, oh, I hope he doesn't come back. I'm not gonna be that low. But no, if I'm promising you, it's a 30. It was like he. Oh, Seth is here. Shout out, Seth. 30-minute mute is nothing. Yeah, welcome to the world of streaming. A 30-minute mute is way better than when I used to accidentally completely just ban people, or we'd just literally vote them off the island or guillotine them out of here. Rengoku, it was a 30-minute mute. I know, because that's what I've been saying this whole time. Because I did it. Oh, golly. All right, well, I am hoping that we at least get within fighting distance, within spitting distance of the all-time high. We are holding 40, which remember is important, but you can see here, then there's another wall right on top of 60, and people are actively targeting the 50s. And between the 50s and the 60s is that all-time high. So just be careful because, yeah, we might push it, but when we go, oxygen is getting pretty thin. So just be careful about swinging for the fence. And granted, we might break out and run, so the best way to handle that is just to have a trailing stop loss. And if we pump and pump and pump, great, ride it. And then if it pulls back, okay, you got your money anyway. So we don't need to overcomplicate things. Ride the trend as long as the trend is intact. Folks, that's what I have for you. I'm going to go hang out in the Discord. I have some other work to do. I hope you're making a bunch of money. It's a nice recovery. And honestly, I'm feeling pretty good because I bought the dip way too heavily yesterday, and I put my money where my mouth is. I made that video of saying, hey, this is temporary. So as of now, feeling pretty good, but I'm also trying to, I don't know, not embarrass myself in front of the market gods because there's still quite a bit of time left in the day today. So who knows what's going to happen. So I'm going to manage it. I'm watching it. As of now, it seems like the dip buy was smart, but I'm trying to be mindful of the fact that I have no idea what the next bar is going to be. If you haven't already, check out Apex. Use that code Goonie. You have a couple days left on that. And then also with Spot Gamma, if you use that link, you're going to get 80% off. By far the best option to analytics tool. That's what I have for you. We're going to be posting an update video later on today, and then we're going to be streaming once again tomorrow morning. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for all the good vibes. I hope you make a shitload of money, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.